which I really hope I'm pointing to all of these correctly because I would just feel so dumb if I go to edit this and I'm like pointing in the wrong direction. Hello everyone, it is Morgan and you're watching Lifestyle with Morgan Lee. I just hit my boop. Yeah, we're a little bit of a mess today. I'm just gonna try to dress up for this video, but I'm like, it's Lifestyle with Morgan Lee, not Ideal Lifestyle with Morgan Lee. So for today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different that I haven't necessarily talked about on this channel yet. I wanted to talk about 5 lessons that I've learned from 5 cities across the world. I've been fortunate enough to travel a decent amount, and I just think it would be really fun if I could share some of the life lessons that I've learned as I go. So here's the video. We do a little geography lesson so that I could kind of point out where everything is. Also, I'll just kind of show y'all, I have like the places I've been marked out on my map. The little red dots and the X's mark out where I've been, and this sounds so cheesy, please don't roast me, but the little green X's are places that I've left my heart. Yeah. So city number 1, right there. Stockholm, Sweden. So a lesson that I learned there is the importance of what in Swedish culture is called a fika, which means a small break for coffee and cake. So in that culture, it's twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. They'll pause their work, they'll pause their activities, and they'll take a break to enjoy a piece of coffee and cake with their friends. And I just think that is the sweetest thing ever, like the whole mindset of even though you're busy and even though you're caught up in the hustle, like taking time twice a day to make sure that you get that break in and you take the time to be with your friends. So I love that. I also blame Sweden for being the place that started my whole I have to have a cup of coffee before I go to bed addiction, because after dinner they'll traditionally serve you a cup of coffee, and that just, that's everything for me. So that's my first takeaway from Stockholm, Sweden. Next city that I wanted to talk about, Progreso, Mexico. When I was in Progreso, I remember being on the beach when I was younger, and I had really blonde hair, and I remember there was a lot of people that would come up and touch me. So I got curious and I asked like why they were touching me. And in that culture, it's a thing where you touch something if you find it beautiful to leave your evil eye on it, to release the envy that you have. So I've always liked the concept, although I don't believe in evil eyes, I've liked the concept of leaving your envy with someone. So what I try to practice, if someone walks in the room and they have a really cute outfit on or they just look super beautiful, instead of sitting back and being envious, oh man, I wish I was her, I try to release my envy and be like, wow, you look really beautiful, or wow, like you have such a nice outfit on. And man, let me tell y'all, that is such a game changer for the self-confidence too, because you release that weight of the envy that you feel towards another person. So forever thankful for Progreso Mexico teaching me about the importance of letting go of envy. So the next lesson that I learned, I remember we were in Zimbabwe, which is a part of Southern Africa, and I don't remember the exact city, so I feel bad for that, but we were definitely in the southern region, and we were on a safari. We had the most amazing tour guide. He did a really good job showing us around, but as we were driving, I distinctly remember being in the car, and there was just a row of school children. They had red dirt on them from the ground, obviously, and their school uniforms on. And our guide told us that some of the children would have to walk up to 5 miles a day to get to school, but they would walk it to get their education. I think I was 11 years old when I saw that, and I really don't think you can see something like that and then ever view education the same. I think that's when I truly started valuing education and truly started being so grateful for how convenient education here is in America, because I'm like, wow, like there are kids across the world who are, you know, a little bit younger than I am walking 5 miles to get to school. That's insane, you know, and here it is so convenient for me. So Zimbabwe taught me to appreciate the convenience of my education and to take it seriously. Okay, the next lesson I learned was more of an observation, and it's from St. Petersburg, Russia, which I really hope I'm pointing to all of these correctly, because I would just feel so dumb if I go to edit this and I'm like pointing in the wrong direction. Anyway, while we were in St. Petersburg, first of all, when you're walking around, people like, you know how in America people pick up their heads and smile at each other, or like you exchange like, hi, how are you? You exchange pleasantry. In Russia, they don't exchange pleasantries at all. The waitresses in Russia, they don't speak to you like they do in America. It's not like that. But our guide told us, she said, upon first encounter, they're not gonna like exchange pleasantries, but if they see you a second time, that's when they'll talk to you. So that just kind of, it more made me realize it's kind of odd that we live in America and we say hi, how are you as a greeting. Like, we don't actually mean hi, how are you? You just like, we greet each other. It reminded me what a almost loud society we live in, a very like confident, very forward people. It was very interesting to be in a culture with people who were mainly reserved. And then it kind of reminded me just how precious it is to have relationships that are below the surface, because it's very easy to get caught up in the whole exchanging pleasantries without getting super close to people. I think I learned in Russia that it's okay to I learned that closed off initially isn't exactly rude, and that sometimes it can actually lead to deeper relationships. So our guide said once a Russian has a friend, that person is a friend for life. And I think there's something really beautiful about that mindset. Instead of, in America, we can be so individualistic. It's like, well, who's gonna help me succeed? Who's gonna help me do this? But I like the idea of once you make this friend, they're your friend for life. I think that's super beautiful. So that's one thing that I learned from St. Petersburg, the last city on my list. This cracks me up because it's so different from all the other cities. Right here. Yep. Williamsburg, Kentucky, aka the city that I currently reside in for school, so solid 9 months of the year. I've learned so much from being here. First of all, learned a lot of new vocabulary words that I had no idea what meant. Like, they got strangled when someone chokes on food, or shopping carts are buggies. This is huge. It's not Appalachia, it's Appalachia. Like, it's Appalachian. If I ever came here and said Appalachian, oh no. We live in the Appalachian Mountains. I'd say that I've learned a lot of things being here. First of all, you'll know everyone in Walmart. There's no escaping. So you'll know everyone at Walmart. And then on top of it, people just like are really not afraid to ask you whatever they want to ask you. Like, oh, are you single? You know, what are you doing in college? You know, how'd you get here? Things like that. Like, people here are just so personal, and what I admire at least is like they're not afraid to ask, so gotta love the courage there. But something that I've learned while I've been here is the importance of community, or like the whole idea of a family outside of family, because I mean, obviously being 20 hours away from home, people have just really welcomed me here. It's really cool to see how like warm and hospitable everyone is. I'll never forget, so I adopted parents here, they're wonderful. I'll never forget the first time I came to their house. It was after church on a Sunday, and they, yeah, if you just want to go in the back room and take a nap, like the food will be ready soon. And I was like, I could never imagine someone coming to my parents' house after church and taking a nap in the back room. What on earth? They're just so beyond hospitable and just beyond like, what's mine is yours, just that very sharing mentality. So that's one thing I've taken away from living in Williamsburg. Loves my time here for sure. Okay guys, I hope y'all enjoyed my video. I know a little different than usual, but I hope y'all liked it. Let me know if you would like to hear more about traveling or just any interesting stories I have about it, because I absolutely love to talk about my adventures across the world. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Can't believe I just did that. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week until we meet again.